Hey everyone, Pastor George here with today's Bible study recap. And today in Bible study, we talked about Matthew 8. And the reason we talked about Matthew 8, specifically verses 5 through 13, was because we're starting a series. We're not going to be doing a book of the Bible because we only have a few weeks until Lent. And I figure we'll probably go through a chunk or a whole book of a Bible for Lent. So I figured we'd do something different for the weeks leading up to Lent. So what I wanted to do is I wanted to do a study series focused on weeping and gnashing of teeth. And it's looking specifically at all the places not all the places, a few places in the Bible, but especially in Jesus's teachings when he talks about weeping and gnashing of teeth, specifically when it comes to judgment. Because I think this is a side of Jesus that we don't see a lot of. And I think it's important to talk about. So I have here for us today, I think the earliest one that occurs in the Bible or in the New Testament, in terms of when you're reading through it, is in Matthew 8, and it's the faith of the centurion, right? So it's a story about how a centurion wants Jesus to heal his servant, his slave, and Jesus then talks about this man, right? And this centurion, someone who is on the outside, a Gentile, a Roman military officer. That's what a centurion is, right? They're over 100 men, so they're kind of like a one of the lower officer ranks, but still very important guys. And they would have all sorts of authority to do things, and he talks about that, right? He's like, just like I have authority to command men to go wherever, you have authority to cleanse it. He has a lot of faith that Jesus is able to heal his servant, even though he's a Gentile. And Jesus uses this as an opportunity to talk about what the future of the kingdom is going to look like. That these people from the outside are going to be brought in, and they're going to be seated at table with Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. So there's like this family dynamic that's going on. But those who are around now, right? He says, well, the sons of the kingdom will be thrown into outer darkness, where there's a place where there will be weeping and gnashing of teeth. Now that phrase, weeping and gnashing of teeth, has to do with grief, right? That you're sad because you're outside. Lamentation, that sort of thing. You see it in the Psalms. I think Psalm 112 uses it. So Jesus is getting at, usually we think of pain, but the thing that actually describes being outside of God's kingdom the most is sadness. That's at least what Jesus uses here, right? He uses pain as well, like fire and stuff like that. But weeping and gnashing of teeth really talks about what life without God is like but we can often trick ourselves into not thinking it's that, and what it'll be like when the kingdom comes. But the good news here, right, is that that's not a destined thing in the sense of like God knows where we're all going to end up, and he's chosen that. But we, on our side, right, we have no ability to distinguish outside of faith, right, who's in and who's out. And I think that is exactly what Jesus is getting at here, right? Because most people would write off the centurion, saying that he's not. But Jesus here is showing, well, this guy has tons of faith, and it's going to be people like him who are going to be outsiders, Gentiles, who are going to be welcomed in and treated as family in the kingdom of God. So I think that's an important thing to remember this day as it is any other, especially when it comes to talking about weeping and gnashing of teeth, and how we reach out to people to make sure that they don't end up in that place. So, all right, that's what we talked about today. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your Wednesday. Peace out.